Hello, hello, my beautiful people. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Grady and I am the counselor and transformational coach at Butterfly Project. So today, this video is going to be one that I promised in the last video that I did that I'll put up here in regards to releasing old patterns. I did say that I was going to do a video on limiting beliefs and clearing limiting beliefs. So first, as you all know, I'm always talking about the subconscious mind, our childhood programming from the first 6 to 10 years of life. And that's actually where the limiting beliefs are created. So when you were little, you're taking in all this information in regards to people, money, relationships, jobs, homes, society, career, education, social life, all of these things, right? And the list, just goes on. And so in those first years, depending on who your caregivers are and the people in your family, teachers, neighbors, things like that, the people that are around you, this is where you get your beliefs from. And, all the information that you're taking in, you are creating assumptions about yourself and all these, other things and other people. And so you start to, in the first 6 to 10 years, this is where the programming happens. This is where your beliefs are developed, right? And so in this time, this is where, these assumptions that you have start creating a story about who you are. A story about who others are, a story about, what money is, what relationships are, basically everything in your life. This is where what you believe and assume about yourself and these things come from. But I work with this, with all of my clients, or on this with all of my clients. And the thing is that just because you believe something to be true does not mean that it is true. It's just what you believe to be true based on your childhood experience. So everybody has different beliefs because of that, because we all came from different experiences in those first 6 to 10 years. And just because you have a belief and you believe it to be true doesn't mean that it is true. So this is what limiting beliefs are. They're beliefs that aren't true, beliefs that don't serve you, beliefs that are negative, right? And so this is what we want to work on clearing. And so this is actually the biggest thing that I work on with the majority of my clients. No matter what you come to me with, this is always the foundation that we want to work with. So limiting beliefs, could be, I'm not, attractive. I'm not loved. I'm not good enough. That's a pretty big one. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. I'm not smart. I'm not clever. I'm not, intelligent. I'm not successful, right? So these are just examples of limiting beliefs. And like I said, it doesn't mean that they are true. It's just what you believe to be true based on your experience. So I'll give you an example. Maybe you think that you're not good enough or you're not loved because your parents had to work really hard. And so emotionally you were neglected. They couldn't pay attention to you. You were kind of, told to go off and play and, while they were busy doing things. And to a child, because remember, children are experiencing things differently and they don't have the same conscious awareness and understanding that we do as we, get older. So for a child, that can seem like, what's wrong with me? Something's wrong with me. I'm not good enough, to get attention. I'm not, loved, right? My parents don't love me, even though the parents really do love you. And they were just working really hard to provide. This is how you interpreted it. And so you started to assume it must mean that I'm not loved. It must mean that I'm not good enough, right? If, your first crush didn't like you back, you could feel like, maybe you're not attractive or, again, maybe you're not good enough or something's wrong with you or you're not, lovable, those kinds of things. So these are just examples. If you grew up really poor, you might think like, I don't deserve money or money, isn't part of my life. Like, I always struggle with money. You create these stories based on these assumptions from when you were in those first 6 to 10 years. And this is what creates limiting beliefs. So we need to counter this. And the best way to counter limiting beliefs is by saying the opposite story. Now, there's a few ways of doing it, and I'm actually going to do a separate video on how to work with affirmations. I have a bunch of tips and tricks that I've come up with and that I use with all of my clients to try to get affirmations deeper into the subconscious mind and straight into the subconscious mind. Yes, repetition is key, but we, also want to be able to move things along. I'm all about productivity, and so I found some, tricks and some things that work really well to kind of get it in there faster and easier, okay, to save on time. But yes, repetition is still key. We still want to repeat affirmations. But the biggest thing I wanted to tell you about in this video to clear limiting beliefs is really just to pay attention to your thoughts. What's that negative tape playing in the back of your mind, right? We have 70 thoughts a day and most of them are unconscious. Like, we're not even aware that we're having these thoughts. So what thoughts are you having, right? How can we become aware of what's unconscious? Well, you can look to your environment. How, do people respond to you? What's happening in your life? What's showing up in your life? That can kind of tell you what you believe and what's limiting you in your life. Another way is, to become very mindful. So practice mindfulness. And I've done a video on that up here. So if you practice mindfulness, what happens is naturally you start to become aware of your thoughts throughout the day. And the more you become aware, the more you'll become aware of thoughts. Okay. And it's, kind of a natural process. So here's the thing. We, have these beliefs deeply embedded into our mind. And, as we're trying to change them, okay, your ego's going to come in and say, no, that's not true. No, don't you remember when you were little? And it might not even use examples. And this actually could be happening on an unconscious level. But what happens is, as you're working through this, your ego is going to try to protect you. Okay, it's going to attack you with all these opposing thoughts because it thinks you're lying to yourself. Okay, it's trying to protect you. It's trying to do its job. And great, it was very helpful back in the day when we were living in the wild, but not right now. So you can, just understand that that's what's happening. And you might have to work a little bit harder to oppose those thoughts and beliefs. And really, when a thought comes up or when you become aware of it, the best way is to flip that thought. Just flip it to something else. Let's say, a thought comes in of like, oh, I'm not good enough. Say, yes, I am good enough, or just, I am good enough. If it's, I'm not loved, I am loved. I'm not attractive, I am attractive. I'm not smart, I am smart, right? It's kind of like the train story. I think I can. It's kind of, that premise, right? So we just want to flip the thoughts. We want to say the opposing thought, the opposing belief. And yeah, it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself in the beginning. But if you continue to do it, if you just persist, if you just practice this regularly, okay, every time these thoughts and beliefs come up, I promise you that over time, it'll start to get easier and easier. And you'll also notice your ego won't come in as much and as strong each and every time, but it's with repetition. So continuing to, flip your thoughts. I also did, video on mental diet. I'll post up here. And that also is in regards to this, right? How to flip your thoughts and paying attention to what's coming in. So this is how we clear the limiting beliefs. Now you understand where the limiting beliefs came from. This is the story that you started to build in the first 6 to 10 years of your life, and the assumptions you started to create based on what you were taking in information from your surroundings and experiences. Okay? It doesn't mean it's true. And this is why they are limiting beliefs, and they are limiting your potential and what you can do in your life. And this is why you're going to want to, clear these limiting beliefs and replace them with the new positive, true beliefs that are serving you, not the negative ones or the untrue ones, that no longer serve you and that are kind of, disrupting or possibly even ruining your life. Okay. Or the quality of life or what you could have in your life. You're limiting yourself. Okay. All right, my loves, I hope that this was helpful for you. Don't forget to do all the things like this video, comment down below, share this video on my channel with others. As you all know, one of my biggest passions is to help as many people as I possibly can. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and be part of this ever-growing butterfly community. And as always, you guys, I wish you all peace, love, and light. Until next time, bye-bye.